slowly express, the golden girl, flying queen. There are many titles that PT Usha has been given. For decades, PT Usha was the only woman athlete that aspiring Indian sports people had to look up to. And for that, she has a unique place in the history of Indian sport. But aside from being the first Indian woman to reach an Olympic final in 1984, she also has a special role at the Paris 2024 Olympics. Listen on to find out how PT Usha's tryst with the Olympics has now come a full circle. Hello and welcome to a century of stories brought to you by IDFC FIRST Bank, always you first. I'm your host Kunal Vijaykar and this is the story of the original Olympic icon PT Usha. PT Usha was first discovered in 1977 by coach O.M. Nambiar at a school athletics meet. Though she was running barefoot and without proper training back then, he saw her immense potential. He began coaching her right away, and the results showed. In just a year, she was already winning medals in running and hurdles events in her home state, Kerala. Fast forward to 1979. She was winning races at the national level. By the time she was just 17, PT Usha had set national records both in the 100-meter as well as the 200-meter distances. And her journey did not stop there. Her trailblazing streak continued at the 1982 Asian Games, where she won the silver. In that era, it was almost unheard of for an Indian woman to be competing in such big arenas. But PT Usha was breaking barriers left, right, and center. It seemed only inevitable that Usha would shine at a larger stage soon. And then came Los Angeles 1984 Olympic Games. PT Usha became the first Indian woman to reach an Olympic final. Only 20 years old, she was very new and didn't even speak the language. But she was a serious challenger for the gold in the 400-meter hurdles. PT Usha was fearless on the track. She missed out on a medal by a whisker, but the following years cemented her position as an inspiration for generations of Indian athletes to come. PT Usha carried right on, dominating the 1985 Asian Championships at Jakarta and the 1986 Asian Games at Seoul. She set multiple new Asian Games records and bagged so many gold medals that people started calling her the golden girl of Indian track and field. Really, generations have grown up watching PT Usha take off from that starting block. And the tally of PT Usha's medals and records can carry on and on. But PT Usha's true influence on Indian athletics doesn't stop there. After her retirement, she has guided and shaped countless careers through her athletics academy and now through the National Sports Administration. She's an inspiration to aspiring athletes and a guiding force for their interests as well. 40 years after her iconic moment at the Los Angeles 1984 Olympics, PT Usha finds herself at the center of the Indian Olympic contingent for Paris 2024 Olympics in a leadership role. In 2022, PT Usha was named the head of the Indian Olympic Association, the first woman to hold the post. And for her, an athlete to be in that role feels like a full circle moment for PT Usha and for Indian sports. We wish her and the Indian contingent the best. Tell us in the comments who you are going to be rooting for and which Indian Olympians you will be watching out for Paris 2024. You've been watching A Century of Stories brought to you by IDFC FIRST Bank, always you first. I'm Kunal and I'll be back next week to tell you about the story of Abhinav Bindra, whose clear aim and focus made for a historic Olympic success for India. Here is today's safe banking tip from IDFC FIRST Bank. If you're on the lookout for a job, make sure to carefully check the credentials of any potential employer. Scammers could be posing as recruiters to get your personal information and steal your identity. They may even ask you to pay for a background check or training program. Only court offers from legitimate, verified sources and keep watching for discrepancies in company websites and suspicious offers.
IVM.